But Cloud9 and CLG, when looking at the draft in its entirety, I think will have a very intriguing journey going from draft to draft because they are very different in the ways that they can put their win conditions. What do you think of the way they've indexed in this particular game?
I love both these drafts. CLG could actually be a good pickup, but he's getting targeted early.
Has to flash out of the vicinity, but sees multiple members of CLG on his tail. Fudge waiting for the last hits. Blubber here to try and offer some assistance with some lockdown thrown on saplings going in. The charge up from Dokla cannot connect with
M&S?
Fudge, and M&S looking for the angle, looking to collapse. The root onto one from Blabber. M&S slinging on in there, hitting away with the Q, and what it do? First blood for Fudge.
Cloud9 showing that they are a little...
Picks on more team-oriented picks. Part of that conversation is the way Blabber and the rest of the teams respond. Oh, Fudge right across mid-side, though, running into some danger once again.
This high tempo style allows them to then go start snowballing neutral objectives, and Blabber has been one of the least proactive junglers in the LCS. He's been a little bit better in the second half of the season playing with M&S, but the team does use his so smart.
Which means because of that pressure just through sheer vision, they're able to offer on that bot side after taking that dragon. Blabber can be here on the top side to try to make the pay. Palafox going in onto it on Blabber, though, stunned away. And a double knock-up. M&S over the wall. He goes. Multiple ults utilized. Contracts burn on down. Palafox soon to follow. Ends up flashing out of it. Fudge getting a channel over here onto Dokla, who wants to escape, but it's a split up of the fight. Multiple lives lost. The 2-for-1 place and very standard to be able to drop it, especially ahead of this dragon as the fight starts to flake out. Contracts going in, and Maokai throwing the ultimate in response. A charm onto one, and the laser coming through for Sven, so he has to flash out of it. And off from the side, Berserker's getting the damage down. One hail to get the kill onto Poom, and Contracts has way too many blue lines on the pursuit of his own body, separating him from the fight. It's the one for double trade again.
Instead, they try and get the wave shoving again before they do it, but Palafox in some trouble here.
Wanted to find a moment to push this up, but now flashing in response to M&S going in with the ultimate of Blabber. Again, here to lock him down. The lock with the golden, but Palafox can't get to Poom quick enough until the final blow comes from M&S. And Poom, the sacrifice to follow for Cloud9. Getting the victory in that engage.
Oh, Palafox just stepping a little bit too far forward in lane. C9 with the inside trap from River, cut him off. That's 2 kills. Luger wants something, though.
Trying to get something here. M&S falling pretty low to the lathering bolts of Luger, so a pick-up kill from CLG while Cloud9 take their second Drake of the game.
Good of them to find a cleanup kill there and stop the pressure from the bot side. Of course, Berserker will shove in mid lane, grab this first turret of the game. During this time, though, you saw Contracts focused up on this top side with Dokla, forced Fudge out of the lane. They're going to trade a turret back, so a 2,000 gold lead.
Comes to exactly what you were saying. A lot of these comps just having that single target that you really need to remove right off the bat for the most damage. Blabber getting caught right here in the line bush, though. The responding rune, but ends up falling to the hand of Palafox. So CLG around this second Rift Herald.
They finally execute on that play. Absolutely massive to get his kill there because it allows him to grab this Rift Herald. As we see, Palafox in some trouble.
The play made on the opposite side. Palafox's sacrifice for the rest of the team focusing there that Dokla can engage if necessary.
A lot of flanks.
Cloud9 starting up onto the dragon. They know that Poom is here, and M&S wants to zone him off. Fudge coming through as well. There's the ultimate from Blabber, the stun and more, and the knockback onto Dokla and the squad. Berserker getting marked so low by Contracts, though. Contracts isolating the target very effectively. Cloud9, no one here to make their stand. CLG bullying him out of the pit. M&S here, stepping up to it. Fudge wanting to line, hits the Q back. M&S goes in, knocks up multiple on the backside. Poom to fall, and Baron goes down, secured by CLG.
Fudge just not grouped up and didn't have a way to contribute to that team fight, so just very split focus there.
Oh, and coming back into it.
Oh, Sven immediately jumped on again.
Was going through the jungle.
We're able to grab some of this objective down, but I think C9 did an okay job splitting the map. You saw M&S forced Dokla up there to grab that, but they landed the fight that worked for them, and now they're in complete control of this game.
Looking to land another fight. Palafox having the stolen ultimate from Berserker does not connect, but Cloud9 feeling more and more pressure, so they feel the need to turn this back onto Dokla, who uses the unstoppable onslaught to get the heck on out of there back into the riverside. Fudge now isolated by Poom and Contract. Look how fast that burn down is getting easier and easier to kill off. They need to hover around the river. They have to be worried about those flanks that CLG had executed on previously. Contracts looking for a similar angle, wants to find Berserker again, gets a knock up onto Berserker and Sven, but the rest of the team getting charmed and locked up around the Dragon side. It's Contracts this time that's the first to fall, so Cloud9 get the chance to wrap it around for another Dragon of their own.
C9 had such a better setup that tank angle, and C9 leaked out M&S at the start of this to actually just take the soul by himself. Great macro out of Cloud9.
Infuse me with what coffee would do. Oh, going in. There's some action right there. Immediate burn down of Poom. Let's see what Cloud9 could end up doing with this one. M&S going in. The channel from Dokla if he did remain too long, but Cloud9 decide to start up this
mid lane. He's alone in that lane right now, so while they'll defend this inner bot lane turret, they're going to lose an inhibitor for the sake of it.
And going for the lockdown from Blabber just to keep CLG here. Multiple knock from Poom into the back. CLG blasting around. They take two, make that three. Coming in hot on the bot push.
C9 are split pushing, and Dokla baits them into thinking that they can actually go for that engage. Poom finds the monstrous three-man engage, annihilates them. Fudge caught out a little bit here.
Whew. Contracts popping the watch. Fudge just wanting to buy time to get to safety. Doesn't have a turret here at the tier 2. Does blast down Contracts though. Now Poom and
Luke. It's for him there, knowing that there is a lot of physical damage on the side of C9.
And C9 definitely looking to throw that physical damage at these turrets. And more Palafox. Oh, just pushing on that mid side prior, and now finally taking down the tier 2. So as Super's coming along for the support across mid, and then the entirety of Cloud9 across bot, they don't look to give up this pressure. Another ultimate engage from Blabber, and it's just right now at the start, and M&S into the backline. Boom, activated the quickness, but is on the retreat towards the fountain. CLG, they don't have a mid laner. They don't have a stance against the taking fort to do so. But Cloud9, waiting on M&S to be able to rejoin them. Poom was looking for the flank angle, has to get over the wall and flash away. M&S still looking, could not connect to get the collapse onto CLG's support, but it's CLG focusing onto the Elder. Another ultimate, this time thrown back by Palafox, gets the root onto Blabber, but they're keeping their eyes on Dokla. M&S going in, he gets the chunk, but is a follow-up good from Cloud9? He's going in for the end of the game. That's one turret, that's two. Who cares about Elder when you got the Nexus in your sights for Cloud9? Cutting into the scrap of CLG. Palafox, can you make the stand against Fudge? What he's got coming for you in the Nexus? A stand for Cloud9, game 1.
C9 through the back door play. What they want to pick into it. M&S obviously has a preference for assassins, but Kennen mid. Here you go, break down the Kennen mid.
CLG opted to swap the Gwen mid, and I think it's because he doesn't want to lane against the Kennen early on, so I think CLG have more favorable matchups as well.
And CLG was opting into an attempt to dive there, had to flash away though, because Blabber also in the vicinity. M&S making his way towards the top side, but the first blood being drawn away by Fudge, talking about the importance of pushing and how he can affect these lanes. But kind of on that point, bringing so much pressure over to the bot side, it feels like something that we have seen time and time again is the attempt from Luger to go on forward on Sven, sidesteps the Aqua Prism, gets a slice into the fish's eye. Presence in the lane, and how much of a more tempered approach are you taking?
I mean, luckily it was Nami who died, so it's not the end of the world, but you always hate to see Sarah getting kills.
And you hate to see your mid laner fall now if you're at Cloud9.
Even hitting it into 10 minutes. They still have the Rift Herald, of course, for C9 side. Getting a little aggressive in the bot lane with Blabber wrapping around.
The culling thrown on out. Blabber gets the kick onto Luger, and the bubble up and down into the grave he goes. Cloud9 kill off the CLG bot laner and make their movement over into the river.
It does feel like the Gwen needs to be ahead of the Kennen to be able to like create that threat on the side lane later on, but it's going to be tough this time.
Contract saw that Blabber was coming. The Wild Growth activated, culling over the wall. No lives lost just yet, but a big blast onto Blabber. Contracts first to fall, and now the Rift Herald getting dropped down by Cloud9 side against Berserker and Sven if they didn't have Contracts here for the assist if needed.
Yeah, right now Berserker and Sven could probably kill them, but there's a bit of a jungle gap going on.
Oh, ult up top, Fudge in the 1v1 with Dokla. Needlework coming through, but Dokla losing out to Fudge. They couldn't make the play happen over on Rift Herald, bring their attention over towards this Dragon. They had previously stacked up the first, so this would be second for the Reds.
Did you ever watch back the season kickoff event, by the way?
No.
You should at some point look back at that. I don't know, they were trolling you there on the side of C9. Not sure if they wanted to go all in on that play or not. Means that now their bot lane are going to be completely without ultimates.
Maybe a nice blast to chunk down Berserker and Sven is one way to do it, but the teleport, the immediate stun up from CLG as soon as MNS gets in here, gets polymorphed as well. There's the dragon going down in Cloud9's favor. Flash away from MNS. The wild growth on top of Dokla throwing down the needlework does not drawing attention to what Fudge was able to do prior. Getting that bot lane turret down ahead of that dragon. Feels like he's been very
setups around them. There were a couple fights that CLG has won around them, but for the most part, C9's there first. They're there with vision.
Push them off enough, so now CLG feel the agency to be able to start up this dragon. Berserker gets knocked down to 50% HP. Into stasis, Palafox goes, but they get so much damage onto MNS in the process. Blabber taking away the dragon, though it's soul for Cloud9. Can CLG get some more picks off the fight afterwards? Fudge, the subject of the attention of contracts, but popping his own watch stopped in his tracks. CLG picking up some scrap, but they lose the objective, and now more lives, and now their jungler at that. Luger keeping the blood running in his veins, keeping his eyes onto Blabber, but Berserker zoning off. Oh, dragon coming and getting set off.
Blabber's still up, he has smite. It's not up actually.
Trying to land these shots onto Blabber and keeping him at bay. Can he step into it? The zoning is still good and strong from CLG. CLG squad so that nobody can get picked out. The song and dance is at it again. The dragon now below 4,000. Needlework slicing through Blabber, and MNS taking a lot of damage as well. Fudge coming on board with the slicing maelstrom. There's the dragon. CLG secures it with the wild growth upon Luger. CLG are in the driver's seat of the fight. Going on in, getting the shutdown. The action of Palafox zone off and all the way on the wayside. C9 falling 1 by 1. CLG, a triple for Palafox and the ace for the team.
Luger is a madman going into the dragon pit by himself multiple times in a row. Baits C9 into a straight up engage. It's a 5-for-0 clean ace for CLG. They want to end the game.
They're going for it. They're hitting the go button onto the turret and more.
Honestly, I'm super surprised they were able to win that fight. Luger got poked down to like, what, 30-40% health? They just managed to win it.
It was enough! CLG coming in the clutch in game number 2!
Absolutely incredible end.
This is super interesting because we pointed out how willing we thought CLG were able to swap between their solo laners, but that's kind of been a staple of C9 in these drafts as well, and it's just a matter of how teams are going to pay attention.
Kind of hit them in the mouth a little bit against C9, who are not used to teams maybe fighting them every step of the way.
Contract's not looking scared in this attempted gank down bot, flashing away from the Cloud9 side, and first blood getting an advantage over to CLG.
Kind of reverting back to a little bit more with the Zeri. He's gotten a number of pentakills himself, if I'm not mistaken, in the LCS. Here we go, Drake fight though.
Sven and Blabber from the bot side. MNS here in Pixel Brush, and Palafox going for that Event Horizon to completely get the burn down. Mid lane for Cloud9, blasted away. The dragon looking to fall soon. Who's going to be the one to take it? Blabber going for it and gets it. Flashes out.
Got the knockback and then ultimately forced the flash. Nice little roam play by Fudge there.
And you can see that attempt as Berserker coming through, laying the damage and the silence from the Soraka here for the blast down onto Boom. Blabber in the vicinity, Cloud9 ushering this wave over towards the turret. Luger having a difficult time offsetting this pressure. Coming through with the ult from the Maokai. The root is good. Blabber in pursuit, and the knockback to feed that kill through Berserk. And with that in mind, starting up on it right now, and you can see Sven and Blabber over from the bot side ready to collapse. Teleport's coming in. Here's the unstoppable onslaught from downtown. Dokla making his presence known, gets a knock up onto one, and it's the jungler at that, swinging into the back line, and a death had by Blabber. CLG still on the rise after a championship victory or some big major run. And even though they were losses in those series, there was
Jinx ahead. Dokla doing his best to play this weak side, but there's a lot of C9 members here.
Yeah, backing off of it. Blabber is keeping that lockdown, and Cloud9, they've got the Rift Herald already popped. They know that this life is for them to claim. Dokla eliminated, passive popped, but The rest of the map, if you're taking a look, CLG trying to get a push there, so they don't have everybody here to be able to stand against a second Rift Herald charge if it is executed by Cloud9.
Work their way in as we have a split push from M&S.
Seen again, a little bit of fish in the barrel with one lockdown and Contracts going into the back line after a lot of damage thrown and the explosive cast for some separation. Teleport coming in through line bush. Contracts marked down. It still has a wild growth. And as Cloud9 decide to venture upon the rest of CLG, they are the ones surrounding the Dragon now, zoning off as much as possible with the damage output from Berserker with the ultimate activated. Dokla trying to make that face at him as the tank. Another Event Horizon doesn't quite get the lock, but does get some zoning. A big blast of power onto Contracts. So the jungler for CLG is kept at bay, and with that, Cloud9 minutes with a Dragon up as well. And looking for some more engage over on this top side. Contracts going in onto Blabber, answers with the ultimate over the wall. Some laser comes through from Berserker, who's looking to land the damage where needed. Both teleports from both sides, but Blabber eliminated. Palafox with the first. M&S zoned off by the rest of CLG, but Cloud9 keep their focus onto Dokla. That is a big BP Scion with the wild growth upon him as well, channeling up the Q for the knockup onto Fudge on this Gragas. So now CLG rotating over into the back of the pit. The polymorph onto one. Contracts into the back of the line, but look at all the low bars from CLG. Cloud9 venturing on backwards, losing 2 members, and CLG get their way in this fight.
CLG are doing it.
The level of control that members of CLG are able to execute with to keep themselves in this too. I mean, Contracts getting a lot of
It's
love.
harder for them to buy space through these Maokai saplings, through the poke of Jace. CLG trying to find their way in.
Cloud9 blocking off CLG upon the entry. So Dokla turned back and then into it. Blabber way into the back after throwing down his ultimate, gets exhausted on the entry. Cloud9, they want to burn down Dokla before they set their sights on the rest of the team. Even have the explosive cast to set the rest of CLG away.
I think they lost track of the fact that the cleanse was back available. C9 punish that over engage, find the kill.
Now that there's less vision on them.
Here's this Baron. They're going to have to force CLG to face check it. Body block on the rock to stop any vision from coming through.
It's already been burned down past half at this point. Cloud9 committing to it. CLG making the play. Contract swinging away. Fudge out of Golden on the opposite side of the pit, looking to throw it back. And with Baron, now Barrett for Cloud9. They're hitting the go button onto the fight. Boom, wild growth and all. Soon to fall. Palafox hits that stopwatch and it hits a gray screen as Cloud9 collapse upon CLG. Flash over the wall by Dokla, but the flash response mean that it is an ace coming through for Cloud9.
That's going to be game. Cloud9 able to show expert Baron control there, make it so difficult for CLG to fight their way into contest that the Baron's dead by the time CLG gets there, and then they're all scrambled around for C9 to pounce on top of, get the clean ace, answer back after dropping the previous game, going to go up 2-1 in this series and be on match point.
Ooh, all of these games coming down to that single fight of dominance. Cloud9 finishing off another Nexus to pull ahead in the series.
Huge bounce.
See her come back in.
Available for Casantia as well. This is such a brute force dive. They're going to go for it.
Attempted teleport in to even the numbers here for Cloud9. Flash out by Berserker. Dokla has fallen. CLG seeing if they can scrap something else through. Fudge getting the slam onto Contracts, and Dokla in the passive mode, managing to get some pressure onto Blabber here. So it's the 1-for-1.
Down a lot of experience for the side of your top laner. So, you know, Fudge comes in at level 2, but that is a teleport. Whoa!
Oh, boom, go boom.
Boom, went in there trying to find...
Quite working in his favor. A quick exit at that afterwards. I feel like Scions, when dead and proccing that passes, sometimes it can be easy to forget. Oh, you're not going to forget a flat forward like that, though. Berserker soon to go down. The bailout can't get a kill off of it, so lots of farm and beyond. Contracts keeping up with the style of this jungler as you want to see on the Elise making the plays across the map, now holding on.
Oh boy.
Fudge knows they're here. Dokla wants to get the slam down. Poom also on the top side. Fudge wants to bring down Dokla with him, but cannot do so. CLG with the play.
Nice brute force play there. They couldn't decide if they wanted to wait for the waiver net. Contracts was tanking that, but they realized that there was just really no one there to cover the play, so they decided to go in for it. Boom with the nice roam to make that one happen. They might go again here.
Oh, they're trying for it. A little knock up on the extension of that Q, and Contracts and Boom here with the CC to try and make it happen. Oh, getting The kill onto Blabber, baby.
Why? You're doing something unique to try and get a lead in the game. I appreciate it. Here, it didn't lead to a massive play, but at least shows why they are trying on blue side to go for some of this riskier stuff.
No lag well, and CLG now applying that pressure on that bot side even more.
Yeah, just so frustrating for the side of C9. Losing complete bot control, camps going in favor of C9, or CLG, excuse me, plates going in favor of CLG, bullying them off their own turret, just 3v3 while the rest of C9 is locked under their turrets.
Oh, there you go in with the grand entrance and the knock-up, and even with the bailout, Blabber will fall. CLG continuing with the kill pressure. Attempt, right? It's the right call. You're not going to be able to offset the advantages that contracts in the bot lane have afforded, but in all other times, Cloud9 have been able to make something happen, and here it is. A little more delay than usual, but they still find the angle to get this kill onto Dokla on the
death squad, it feels like, of Luger, Poom, and Contract. Doesn't get the kill, but finally finds that first turret of the game.
Which means that now they have their sights over towards the Dragon side, cracking open that mid. And on top, Cloud9, they want to make the play happen. Flash and lockdown from the roof for Palafox under the turret, seeing if he can draw as much aggro for tower shots as possible. Does pull off the trade.
That was a very long-range turret shot there, able to find the trade back. Like you said, very nice despite the, like we said, cheese in the early game trying to shut him down. He's done a good job staying relevant in this game. He'll have to punch through a Scion. He'll have to be able to survive. Would be him.
And speaking of that battle between Berserker and Prince, when Berserker was speaking to the amount of poke, Sven down to 50% HP. And Palafox still keeping this angle. Luger and all the friends trying to make the fight turn now. Eminez blasted on down and out of the fight. Elimination of Luger right off the back of it. And now Fudge, can he get onto Contracts, who zips on out there? Blabber with the root. There's the disengage. Boom, now joining Palafox to try to retreat towards lane. But CLG, they lost out in numbers. The 2-for-1 trade thus far. Palafox slamming on down and into the ground he goes. Berserker not able to get the last hits on to Poom.
4-1 and 2 at the tail end of this fight.
And Cloud9 getting that Rift Herald from that fight. It was about 40, was kind of left open to be able to be collapsed upon by C9, but here instead you have Dokla coming through with the ult of his own and getting a lot of damage from Berserker though. Can CLG follow up upon it? Dokla eliminated off of the Rift for now. Power of Luger and Berserker. When Luger can really get online in these fights and be protected by the squad, there's significant damage. Blabber still on the Dragon is brought down to 50. Contracts in the vicinity, stun up onto Blabber. Eminez over the back of the pit as well. Now the one with the flanking advantage. Fudge zoned off, root onto Dokla. There it is. It's over on the Cloud9 side. Getting the Dragon now falling up on the fight. Blabber does go down, but it's a jungle for jungler trade. Knock up onto multiple from Dokla. There's the blades coming in with a feather slice and oh so hot. Fudge eliminated. Double kill here for Palafox. CLG turning it up in the fight, and the pursuit is good. The blast onto Sven hitting oh so strong, but great use of the utility to back CLG away.
Forced Fudge to TP in as well.
Oh, they're sticking to it so far. Both teleports coming in from Cloud9 side, and another ultimate initiation from Blabber. They get the root and more onto Dokla, seeing if they can burn down the tank before setting their focus onto the rest of the team. But Poom going on in, the disengage, and a double knock up and the burn down onto Blabber, who actually ends up getting with the bailout and coming back into it. Fudge now subject and keeps the eyes on two members of CLG, now eliminated. 2-for-2 trade thus far. Contracts zoned off by Eminez, who will be able to get the lock, and therefore the kill. Take that spider, pull her out of her web, and into the grave she goes with one more hit to go. Cloud9 swinging the gold back, getting...
Crazy team fight there. A huge bailout by Sven to keep Blabber alive. Allows him to come back up. They're starting to get a little low. Able to grab some more gold with the push that they have coming through.
Just, you know, doesn't get to be on theme with the rest of them in purple, but still they do have this working in their favor. A charm onto Fudge as the fight is once again initiated. Blabber burned down pretty effectively, and the Berserk comes through on the exit. What a blast from Boom, and the rest actually with
Blabber there to smite, so we'll see if CLG just want to burn this one down and try and escape, get onto Soul Point.
Trying to do so. Does anyone from Cloud9 want to step up? It looks like they're looking to take the fight, even though giving over the Dragon itself. All the focus onto Dokla once more, so they can eliminate that front line. And
Blabber's here.
Dokla holding it as much as possible. Blabber loves to lead with the ultimate when they do.
Palafox is not a joke. You can't ignore him, and it's the same case with Contracts.
Can't ignore anyone on this team at this point with the way they're able to hold
that
in
chain.
Game. The chain into the root, into the laser, into it all. Contract.
C9 some more room, extend that gold lead a little bit more, should be able to grab some more turrets for them.
Yeah, breaking down that tier 2 across mid lane. On this top side, a full wave ushered, and they love to push under the turret as fast as possible. Collapse upon CL on this information, but having a difficult time venturing on through. Teleport in for the support from Pixel, and will Dokla make the opening play? There it is, the unstoppable onslaught, but all the while, Cloud9, they secure the Baron, now trying to throw it back. Poom, effectively brought out of the fight here to shield the backline.
Oh
The
my
knockback
God.
of multiple members of CLG, they cannot escape. Cloud9 take down 2, keep their eyes on contracts, and as they wear purple one more time, they are feeling themselves in this late game.
Only 2 people left alive, none dead for C9. This could be the game-ending push. Huge zone control buys them the Baron, and a monstrous 3-man Cassante knockback. Found a number of kills now. We'll see if just the top end support can somehow save this game for CLG.
Oh, but C9, they don't want any saving grace for CLG to come through. They keep under this turret. They take down 1. Dokla keeping the focus onto Fudge, but Cloud9 push Boom back into the fountain. Here it is, the team coming in hot from that #1 spot of the regular season with a series win against CLG.
C9 punch their ticket to...